everybody, welcome back to the channel, and this again is another video covering the Mature Racing Club Gran Turismo Touring Car Championship. So as I hinted at in the last ones, we're flicking the commentary around, so different commentators are in different leagues. I'm this week going to be covering the two races from Elite 1, so the second tier of the GTTCC, but there's still some ridiculously fast guys in here, and we'll go through the grid in a second. You'll recognise a few names from past videos. Won't waste too much time because I'm getting these videos done in a bit of a rush, I'm afraid, but we'll get some coverage in. So first and foremost, P1 Don, a ridiculously quick dude. He lines up alongside Fubuki, a ridiculously quick dude. Bathurst is weird. Pole and, well, basically the grid is side by side and pole's on the outside, so it's actually better to get P2. You get a better run into turn 1. It's a bit weird. And you've got Ghost Realm, P3, P4 is P1 rear wheelman, so 3 P1 drivers in the top 4. Mighty Ginge, P5, Angus McCoat, P6, Chris Mack, P7, JPH99 in P8, Infinity Decals, P9 for him, P10 for Molly, and P11 for Dangly Ball, aka Tony. So everyone driving the Ferrari 458, exact same car. They can choose different tyres, but most will be on the super softs. And yeah, we're at Bathurst in what is night settings. Here there's quite a lot of light, but when you get into the mountain section, as you can see there, as the exposure fades away and we get the darkness once more, the revs are rising. Our drivers are ready to go for 30 minutes at Bathurst. We're red and we're green, and everyone's away then. So everyone seemed to get away quite cleanly. Let's see if Fubuki does manage to get into T1 first. He does. So P1 Don, I'll try and hang it around the outside though. Don, he does a lovely move there, a little bit further back, no chaos. Everyone's keeping it nice and clean. Yeah, beautiful stuff. Let's keep an eye on. So we've got rear wheel and Angus McCoat battling away, but we have got a good battle for the lead. We've got P1 Don P1 Don's actually quite way ahead at the minute. Fubuki's now on to defend to Ghost Realm, who's got himself trying to go around the outside. Then what happened there? Not a lot of grip on the outside here. Bailey's just going to try and brake, probably just a tad too late there. Cold tyres as well. Normally that would be rescuable, but first lap woes, and that's going to knock him down to what is at the minute P6. So P1 Don leads the way, Fubuki P2, rear wheel P3, and these guys starting to build a little bit of a gap now with Ghost Realm's little off. Angus McCoat P4, good start for Angus. Mike James P5, likewise for JPH and Ghost Realm going side by side to the top of the mountain. Going to be difficult to hang two cars here side by side. Ghost Realm does just tuck back in. It's going to open it up for Chris Mack and Infinity Decals to have a pop as well, so we'll keep an eye on that as someone scrapes the wall in incredible fashion, and we'll just keep an eye on the drivers as they head down the mountain for the first time. Then Don and Fubuki navigate it no problem, so does rear wheel Angus, Ginge, Ghost Realm does, and we've got JPH99 off somewhere. What happened to JPH? So he's running P7. Oh, we got a massive wall cloud. I'm going to guess a little bit of damage as well then through Macquarie Park. Whether he gets a push wide or whether he's just going wide, that's his left, and only he will know the answer to that. Chris Mack getting a little bit out of shape coming down the mountain. It's good that Dangly Ball was aware to it, but still a little bit of a clatter coming down the mountain then. Dangly Ball had to slam on the anchors just to get out of his way. Infinity Decals getting that Ferrari a little bit sideways. We'll go through why that happens in a minute, because it was quite an interesting combination of Ferrari at Bathurst. Proved to be a challenge for most, in all fairness. We've got a few places swapping a little bit further back. We've got Mighty Ginge and Angus McCoat up. These guys are side by side, coming down the Conrad straight into the chase. Mighty Ginge win that. He's had a great lap one, up to P4 for Mighty Ginge. Absolutely superb start for him. He will be chuffed with that so far. Long way to go in this race though. Big gap to P6 as Infinity Decals and Moley go at it side by side. What else is going on? So we've got Dangly Ball. He was bottom of the grid, you'll remember, right at the start of it. He's now up to P8 with other drivers' misfortunes. JPH, oh, what's happened to Ghost Realm here? Ghost Realm was... what was he doing? So he was just coming down the Conrad straight, and he just backs off and sticks it to the side of the road. Does Bailey, really off the track as well, kicking up a massive cloud of dust for everyone. Not sure what preceded that. I didn't see anything that preceded it, but he obviously felt responsible for it. I know it was him and JPH battling up the mountain, perhaps, and my theory is that Bailey's done the whole waiting up game because he felt like he was responsible for that collision. Anyway, as the top two come towards Hell Corner for the second time of asking, Fabuki and P1 Don starting to break away from the pack now. Rear wheel is still there, but he's got to worry about the fight from these two, Marty Ginge and Angus McCollum, pretty much tied together since they both got up to that position. We've got a car off. Is there a car off? No, just an absolute ton of dust being kicked up. Let me take a drink of refreshing juice. So this might be a battle to watch, Marty Ginge versus Angus McCollum. Angus actually dips a wheel on the inside then. We'll sort from here on in at the Bathurst track, and we'll go for a bit of a lap later on as well, very shortly actually I think, probably just to give you an idea what the drivers are facing. From here on in, you can overtake, but you shouldn't. It's side by side, it's asking for trouble. Sorry, it's single file, it's asking for trouble going side by side is what I'm going to say. It can be done, you know, if both drivers are very accommodating to it, it can definitely be done, but in a racing scenario, most guys won't give enough quarters to get a side-by-side move done around here. So we're watching Dangly Ball v Chris Mack. Dangly Ball taking a different line into that, probably just so he can sight the apex, to be brutally honest. Keep an eye on the track map to see if there's anyone turning around. I can't see anything. Chris Mack's got a little bit of a track cut penalty. He classes the wall. Goes for a millisecond. Dangly Ball thought he could go through him, but alas not. Let's pick one of the top guys to go for a lap with. Let's pick Fabuki, because we can see, for some reason Fabuki, your wiper's going. I have no idea why your wiper's going, mate. Like, why? It's not raining. It's Australia. It's Sydney in Australia. It barely rains around here. Alright, so we're watching Fabuki follow P1 Don. So the guys have tyre wear to contend with, but no fuel consumption, so they can rev it out as much as they want. Okay, so your lap starts at Murray's, down the main straight into Hell Corner. So Hell Corner, you're looking for about a 75 metre braking zone there or thereabouts, and you want to clip the apex on the inside. As you can see, Fabuki then down to second. You can run the exit curve there, but just be careful. There's a barrier really not far away at all. Up the mountain straight then, you are now climbing uphill. There is a little bit of a dip here. This is where you start to pick up a lot of speed for any potential overtake up into Griffins. You can hear Fabuki actually backs out of a move there on P1 Don. He was probably close enough to go for an absolute lunge, but thought better of it. Turn 3 and 4 then up into the cutting, so a slight lift is needed here just to stabilise the car and get the weight transfer right, and then up into the quarry complex. You are now going uphill. This is where the single file start stuff really takes into effect. You are now on the top of the mountain, down into the compress, that is Frog Hollow, and up into McPhillamy Park. Again, you just want to be careful. I mean, Fabuki is running a bit of a risk again because he now can't see the apex. Coming down into Skyline, you need to see where you're going really, and into the S's. You can run this curb on the inside, then you need to really be down, slowing the car down in second as you enter the S's. All downhill, the car balances all over the place at this point. The Ferrari's engine's behind the driver's head. And as you enter Forest Elbow, again the car just wants to escape away from you at the back and get a good exit down for Conrad. A good exit is pretty critical here because this is slipstream heaven. This is where most of the overtakes are going to happen down the end of here. And that's pretty much a lap of Bathurst. The complex the drivers are approaching now is called the Chase. And they're down into Murray's again. 23 corners make up Bathurst. Real life Australian circuit, a lot of supercar action around here. There's a lot of GTs as well. One of my favourite events is Bathurst. I think it's Bathurst 500, where they basically just do an absolute ton of laps. It's brilliant. Always carnage. Oh, we've got a car off. That's Mighty Ginge running P4. He spent the last lap building a decent gap over Angus McCollum and has managed to rescue that move, but he's lost a ton of time. Well, dirty tyres as well coming into Murray's, goes defensive and does just manage to hold it. Can Angus McCall get him on the exit? He's got a better exit than the Castrol driver, and I'm going to argue he's probably going to get the move made here into turn 1, and Marty Ginger will be wise just to sit in the slipstream then, and hopefully get a move made up into Griffins. We'll see if he manages to do that. Good fight battling a little bit further down. Let's have a look. We've got Infinity Decals like Moley, Dangleball, Chris Mack, JPH and Goatswell. These guys are still very close together. You remember Goatswell let JPH back past. And because we're on the same car, at this stage in the race, there's no obvious advantage other than the squishy organic bit sat at home on the rig making the inputs. It's very equal at this stage in the race. It's only really when the tyre wear kicks in that the men from the boys are sorted and who's done a better job of looking after things. Meanwhile, we do have Fabuki into the lead of the race. I've just noticed that as well, so sorry I didn't cover that overtake. But yeah, Fabuki into the lead of the race. These boys at the minute just kind of in their own league, I guess. We've got Rear Wheel not far away actually. Rear Wheel's pace is really impressive. To say he's not getting any slipstream and he's not really being dropped by these guys too much. It probably helped that they've had a fight that last lap, because they were in the 212s whereas Rear Wheel was in the 11s. 11s was the pace to be hitting on a consistent basis, and the 10s were possible as well if you got a good lap in, but these two fighting away. You see P1 Dom now going for the move again on Fabuki. Dom down in towards the chase. He's going to get the move done. Fabuki's probably going to be within range to try and outbrake him then. Now Fabuki does actually get on the brakes a little bit earlier, and P1 Don he's going to finish lap 4 in the lead of the race. So what are we, 9 minutes into this now I think. So we're cracking on some. The good thing about Bathurst is you don't lose too much time by pitting, so you'll probably see most people will pit just to get that fresh tyre advantage. Some people who are really good at saving tyres probably just won't bother. The tyres are really going to be critical at the next race we go to over at Laguna Seca. Obviously we won't cover that one in this video, we'll cover that one separately. But yeah, that's going to be quite interesting. So as we're looking at Dangleball. He's just escaping a little bit of a fight between JPH and Chris Mack. JPH up to P9 then. That's the HKS driver having a good outing at Bathurst so far, riding his way through the dust. P9, he was running higher, but obviously had that race lap 1 incident. And there we go. So now's a good time in the commentary, take a short little break and mention on some of the cars. We'll notice some specific decals being dotted all over there. With regards to a club member, someone we all care about very deeply. It's called Phil. Grim99, as you may know him by his PSN. I don't think I've actually commentated on any of his races. He sadly lost his sister quite suddenly recently. You remember from my Infinity GT videos, we did a spot on it there. And a lot of the drivers are choosing to run special decals in honour. It's a shame you can't really see them on the cars, but I did notice one that you see on the back of Angus's car there. We'll get a zoom in on them in just a second. There you go. See on the back of the car there. Yeah, so a lot of the drivers, that's just their little nod. You can see on the back of Infinity Decals' car there, he's got the Jackie livery going. It's just their little nod to say we're thinking about him and we wish him and his family all the best, and we're here if they need anything. Okay, on with things. So Goatswell still at the back of the grid. Oh, he's just been caught out there. Chris Mack just clapped the barrier. No one really could get out of anyone's way there. That is just stuff that happens, I'm afraid. But Goatswell was going for the move up into P10. Moley, P9 for Moley at the minute. Very busy livery on that car. JPH and HKS livery car. P8 for him. Dangleball. P7 for Dangleball was at the back of the grid at the start, so the Castrol driver will be quite happy with that. His teammate Mighty Ginge just ahead of him. Oh, yeah, Mighty Ginge just ahead of him. Sorry, I was looking the wrong way around. Then we've got Infinity Decals. He is running in P5 at this minute in time, chasing down Angus McCall. Angus has had a bit of a fall from grace from what we see. Yeah, but there's a big gap to him and P1 Rear Wheel, so there was an issue with Mighty Jim somewhere along the line. He's lost a ton of time. He's had some really slow laps these last time around, so 2:19 and 2:17, very slow laps for Mighty Ginger. I'm not going to go back and rewind and see what happened, but yeah, he's had an off somewhere. Probably be quite glad we didn't pick that up. So Infinity Decals actually in line here to get potentially the jump on Angus. Although Angus McCout isn't his real name, I keep forgetting what his real name actually is. I want to say it's Darren, but someone in the comments will call me an idiot for getting it wrong, so I'm just not going to bother. I'll just call him Angus McCout. So the Budweiser driver just setting his personal best lap time actually, 13.5, but he's just getting dropped by the guys ahead. So rear wheel now. Tyres starting to go off on that car, I think, because he's dropping a little bit of time. Fabuki and Don still battling away. These guys doing remarkably similar times. Definitely the class of the field so far at Bathurst as you approach the halfway mark. And yeah, the race is kind of just evolving for a lot of these people now. It's just a case of keeping it on track. As you can see with Mighty Ginger's car, him not keeping it on track's cost him an absolute ton of time and a few places as well. Someone who's capitalised on a lot of that, Dangly Ball, very consistent so far. He's keeping it in the right realm. JPH also, I mean, he'll be gutted about that lap 1 incident because he's definitely had the pace. He's going considerably a lot faster than the cars ahead of him as well. Ghost Realm now it's P9, so Bailey, who wasn't enjoying the Ferrari at this track, got himself up to P9 and passed Chris Mack. Chris Mack though down coming in towards the chase. He's probably going to try and have a go back. Bailey's going to go defensive. Ends up going back and not bothering defending it. It's quite lucky Chris Mack didn't just throw one up the inside, but there we go. And at the minute, the Wooden Spoon Award firmly going to Moley 1983. Looking back from Mighty Ginger's car, we're seeing the yellow headlights of Dangly Ball. This is a teammate battle that's been raging on really for a little bit as we're coming towards the top of the mountain and down into the SS section. Oh, he took a lot of curb there. Oh no, that's Dangly Ball into the wall. Is JPH going to be able to get him? I think, yeah, JPH has got him as well. And he'll be lucky if he stays ahead of Ghost Realm at this stage because the P1 driver is on it at the minute. He's found his groove. It's safe to say, Bailey, and he's just finding his consistency. Now he's got a bit of a slipstream as well, that's helping him. And he'll be looking now to capitalise on others' mistakes, I think. Let's have a quick flick through anything going on. Not much at the minute. These two boys at the top. Fabuki now back in the lead. P1 Don, P2 for the minute. But I think this battle is far from over. They haven't been any more than half a second away from each other for the 8 laps at Bathurst about to start. So I can't talk tonight. So some absolutely incredible driving from both of these guys, it's got to be said. So really nice to watch. And we'll keep an eye on how that develops as well. So just watching this clip, saw a little bit of evidence of tyre wear kicking in for Don because he got really poor exit out of Forest Elbow, and you can see Fabuki in the distance just pulling a gap to it. We are 17 minutes into the race now, so really into the business end of it, to the last third of the race, braking heavily now, and Don's just going to get it wrong, unfortunately. He's just that front end's just not going to bite for him like it was doing at the start of the race, and he's going to pick up an awful lot of agricultural parts of Australia on his car and does really well to stay hold of it, but that is going to drop him a fair bit back and out of the slipstream from the car ahead. Was running the mid to high 211s. This is a 213.6, so you can tell just how much that time that cost Don. Fabuki just managing to hold on to it right now, so he's got the decision to make as to whether he pits again because he might have the same tyre wear issue. But we'll see what happens with that. Mr. Rear Wheel, not covered him too much in this video so far. I'm afraid there really hasn't been much need to. He's just kept a nice consistent pace, as you can see by the timing screen on the right hand side there, mid to high 12s the entire time. Just ran his own race. He's not had any cars around him for a while to worry about, so he's just running his own pace at the minute. Angus McCoat up, him and Infinity Decals. That battle hasn't really come to fruition yet. Angus is just about getting the better of our decal expert. If you want any decals, stickers, t-shirts, hats, mugs, anything, get in touch with this dude, Infinity Decals on the interwebs. Really nice bloke, he'll look after you. JPH99 then, P6 for JPH at the minute. There's been a couple of pit stops. I think JPH has benefited from that. Gosham's same story for him really, P7. Chris Mack, P8, I don't think he's pitted, and then we've got Dangly Ball who has pitted, so has Mighty Ginge, and I think Moley has as well. So Fabuki with his wipers on, I'm surprised there's any rubber left on that thing, and he can see out the screen for the discarded rubber that's going to be left on it. But Fabuki, and you can see the yellow headlights as well that some of these guys put on, they're not actually as good with the clear ones, so he's going to be struggling for visibility in some parts of the track. Obviously not bothering him though. He's using some sort of dolphin type sonar to get himself around Bathurst, I think, because he's absolutely flawless tonight so far. Hopefully that's our commentator's curse, he's going to bin it. He's doing well so far, so he doesn't pit this time round. Don picks up a little bit of a penalty somewhere. Minor track cut infringement no doubt, but there is no rule on serving penalties in the GTTCC. This is just, if you get one, get rid of it. Whenever you want, really. Nice and easy to get your head round. So Infinity Decals must actually rank as one of the unluckiest blokes so far in this race. He got the pit entry slightly wrong, rescued it like an absolute boss, and got a 2-second penalty for his pleasure. So yeah, he's got that to worry about, and he's come out behind JPH99 as well, which he probably wouldn't have done if it wasn't for him losing as much time on the pit entry as he would have done. So he's got some work to do now. Got some fresh tyres though. JPH doesn't have that advantage. JPH is the lowest ranked non-pit stopper, I think. Everyone else behind him is pitted. So JPH with a fair old gap now to Angus Pacote. Has got some defending to do, no doubt. But I cover another league that JPH races in, the Thursday Night Megans, the next gen host, and he is a bit of a defending maestro. He's quite good at it, so he has to do quite a lot of it in that one. Always involved in little battles as JPH, so he's no doubt accustomed to the Group 4 machinery, and no doubt accustomed to having to put his car in the right place at the right time as well. Let's check in with the top bloke. So we've got Angus Pacote, good race for him so far, P4, absolutely solid performance. He was embroiled in that battle for a while with Infinity Decals, but because Infinity Decals has pitted, he's now got a bit of fresh air. 2 seconds down on his fastest that lap though, so these tyres are going off, and Infinity Decals is not that far behind him. He's got 8 minutes left, so Angus might do well to pit now, just while he's got the gap behind. Yeah, he's doing it. I was looking at the track map. If he pits well and he doesn't have any offs, he should come out ahead of JPH99 still, because it's a really short pit stop here, so he might as well do it. It just makes sense, he's got the gap. Rear wheel's probably another one that I'd say might as well pit as well, you know, because he can. Although that being said, he's not really losing that much time by doing so. So right, Angus Pacote does come out P4. JPH is pretty close to him, but Angus has got fresh tyres, so yeah, although JPH is going to be a threat, I will be honest and say Angus on fresh tyres should just slowly pull away from him. Should. We'll see what happens. Those tyres though aren't going to be up to working temperature for about half a lap really. So Angus has got a little bit of work to do. Let's just ride on board with JPH actually, as he just goes a little bit wide there coming up towards the cutting. Yeah, manages to rescue it though. So JPH now at this section of the track can't really do anything. You can't really overtake unless the guy ahead of you makes a monumental mistake. You can't really make a move here. So JPH has just got to sit in position. His next opportunity is either going to be if Angus makes a mistake coming down the mountain, or potentially towards the end of Conrod, and just make sure he's in that slipstream coming down the Conrod straight. So JPH then not risking it, not taking any curbs. You can see Angus goes a little bit deep there. That's just those tyres not biting quite well enough at the minute. But you should be getting them up to temp now. They've done this twisty bit. This is the part where you really do start to feel the tyres work now. You can see Angus really hugging that inside barrier. JPH just clips it. Not a good exit for JPH then. Angus is just going to pull away a little bit. And although we'll get some slipstream advantage, it's not going to be enough. Infinity Decals will, if he got a good exit, reel him in. Ghost Realm has pitted. He's on fresh rubber. No one around him, so he can focus on his race. Dangly Ball has got Mighty Ginge for company, so these two have been pretty much tied together for the entire race, really. Well, ever since Mighty Ginge had that off, and Mighty Ginge is going to go for the move here. Gets that move made. These guys are teammates, so shouldn't give each other too many headaches. Indeed they don't, and they just get on with their racing. So good clean racing displayed by these two boys. Chris Mack's trying to get a piece of that pie, and Molly unfortunately is just a bit out of touch with anyone at the minute, but hopefully he's got a little bit of time to get back into it. So the fight between JPH and Angus still rages on, although it has to be said, Angus, like I said, is pulling away a little bit. Let's see what the sector times are for these guys as they come towards the timing line. So a 20.9 for Angus, that's having a personal best as well, so he's on for a good lap here. Decals has just done his best lap, so now he's got those tyres in a working range. Infinity Decals can start to reel in JPH. JPH, who's not pitted, doing low 14s. Infinity Decals high 12s then on fresh tyres. So with 5 minutes remaining in this one, probably another 2 or 3 laps, JPH has got to keep in touch with Angus McCall and get that slipstream advantage, because he's going to be a sitting duck otherwise. Let's check in on for Buki. Yeah, he's there. Don's got rid of a lot of that penalty. He's got two temps remaining. Infinity Decals obviously got rid of his at some point because we saw it. Mr. Rear Wheel, his tyres are going off now. He's into the low 14s. He's alright, he can chill for the next couple of laps, to be fair, can Rear Wheel. He probably doesn't need to risk a pit stop entry going wrong. He just doesn't want to go off either, so if I was him, I'd probably have a steady pit entry, get some fresh tyres on. You come out well in front of everyone else, but I'm not sure if he's going to do that. I think he's just going to continue on. Yeah, he's going to continue on. It's up to him. If he feels confident in carrying on with the tyres, he might as well. So we said JPH might be a sitting duck, and Infinity Decals is reeling him in. You can see just how much more traction the car for Infinity Decals has got under braking. Then JPH, worn tyres, they're not just not going to bite into that. They're not going to have the same bite in the tarmac as they once did. And it's the corners that Infinity Decals is going to have the advantage on. JPH is just going to position his car. It's just going to give enough room for Infinity Decals on the outside then. But Infinity Decals, being able to brake later, is just going to force him into taking a slower exit. Indeed he does that. Good racing from these guys, but this is just what the visibility is that these guys have. Literally can't see a thing, so Infinity Decals waits for a last minute to pull out, and he's just going to try and out-brake him up into Griffin's and go round the outside, do it the hard way. He's trying it. The outside turns to the inside for the cut-in though, so if he's got a car, if he's got a nose in, he should be alright. JPH giving him the room on the outside then. He's got to do that, you've got to give each other the room. Infinity Decals is through. JPH with the wall tap then, unfortunately down to P6, but he held on valiantly. Ghost Realm, he will be getting messages over the radio. AKA a Max Verstappen, get on with it mate. You've got another lap after this, chase after him. You could have a P6 here after being pretty much stone dead last after waiting up. Oh, he's taking a lot of grass there, is Mr. Wood. Rescues it. Nicely done, nicely done. JPH though at the minute is starting to lose time. If he can keep the slipstream of Infinity Decals, he might be okay, but I have a feeling now Infinity Decals is just going to drive off into the sunset. Angus probably a little bit too far out of Infinity Decals' reach, despite both drivers doing very well at the minute. They're both on the same sort of tyre life. So it's going to take something extraordinary from Mr. Robinson to overhaul him, but you never know, you never know. Ghost Realm then, best lap for him last time out at 12.0, so a good lap then for Ghost Realm. Obviously getting used to the car and the track a little bit more. Mighty Ginge will walk away from this one potentially a little bit sad because well, he was running very high up in this one, but has enjoyed some good racing nonetheless, so I think that's just what he enjoys, is just good racing. Dangly Ball's got a Chris Mack for goal. What's happened here? Let's just jump on board with Mr. Chris Mack. So he's chasing the Castrol driver down. Chris Mack's on fresh tyres as well. 12.9 last time out for him. Just a really tidy corner for Chris Mack. The exit, the slingshot effect that Chris Mack got there, absolutely beautifully done. Dangly Ball sees it in time to go defensive to the inside. Is he going to hang him out to dry? Dangly Ball on old tyres is not stopped yet. I have a feeling Chris Mack's going to have more traction on exit, but Dangly Ball hanging on in there like a Dangly Ball would do. Oh, he's just about got a nose in front there, has Mr. Chris Mack and Moley. They're all going to get one more lap in, so final lap for all these guys for Fubuki. Solid race for Fubuki, hasn't stopped, is losing time because of that, but Don's in the same boat, so Don, as you can see, they're just struggling with these tyres now, but he'll be happy with a P2, I think. Rear wheel, happy with a P3. Yeah, he's just coasting to the podium right now. He doesn't have to worry about any cars behind there. As long as he keeps it on track, he'll be absolutely all good. Ghost Realm is getting closer to JPH. What is the gap? Let's have a look. So the gap between them two is 1.7. So Ghost Realm needs a really good mountain section, and then he might just have the chance coming down towards the end of Conrad, but he's got Mighty Ginge for company as well, so we will see what happens with that. Let's go and give Fubuki some credit though, taking his win here at Bathurst. Well done to Fubuki, well done that man. P1 Don will be happy with a P2. P1 Rear Wheel will be happy with a P3. A well managed race by the top three. They all did an absolutely excellent job on old, worn, decrepit tyres. Let's focus in on this battle. Angus Picote up. Anything going on? Oh yeah, this is kicking off here. Ghost Realm's got involved. Let's have a look. This is coming out of the mountain section then. Just on board with Ghost Realm Gaming. I think he sees his opportunities here. Nice and tidy exit there. JPH just taps the wall. That effectively is like slamming the brakes on. And Ghost Realm's just going to get prime suck all the way down the Conrad straight. And JPH, I think, I've got a feeling JPH is just going to send him wide. And yeah, Ghost Realm. Oh, JPH is off. JPH is off there. But credit to Bailey, mate. Absolute credit to Bailey. He's waiting because he thinks. I think he thinks he tapped him. I didn't see it on the screen, but I think he thinks he did. You know, he's smashing JPH all over shop. But credit to him, he's waiting. You can't argue with that. Good sportsmanship there. Let's go and give everyone else coverage though as we go. So rear wheel 72, P3 for him. He'll be chuffed with that. Slam it sideways, mate. You know you want to. There we go. Beautiful stuff. Angus McCall. We know he's going to give us a lovely handbrake turn across the line. He'll be happy with this result. P4 at Bathurst. Beautiful. Oh, backwards as well. Best one yet. Infinity decals. He always does it. A bit late. And we've already covered the JPH and Ghost Realm battle. P6, P7 for those guys. Mighty Ginge was being chased down at the end. P8 for him. Chris Mack P9. Dangly Ball P10. And the Molly P11 for this one. Thanks for watching, ladies and gentlemen.